Okay, started.
Okay. Hello, guys. Welcome to our meetup. This is, I think, 11. Today we will have two guests. It is Frank and Oliver. Frank, can you mute yourself because I'm hearing myself?
Yes, I can do it. Wait.
Oh, it's mine. I guess it's from me or?
I'm muted now.
Okay, so it's from me. Okay, sorry guys for technical problems. I will start like always by showing some stuff. So today we will talk about our SignumSwap new token portal. I will give quick shout out to mining game. You can here mine TMG tokens and use them to win some Signa by collecting the championship flags. We have 11 persons who collected all flags. Now we have 2 lucky tweets, so you can retweet mine tweet. You can see I have 9 retweets, and you can retweet Signum official tweet to get one of Signum Color Explosions NFTs. These NFTs are created by SMA. It is a Signum association. So if you buy one of this, you will donate to SMA. Okay. Frank, Oliver, board for you.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Trevor. So I like to take over now for the presentation for SignumSwap portal. I will start now presenting my screen. Give me a second. Okay.
And guys, you always can ask questions on the live chat, and I will answer them.
Yeah, exactly. So everyone can see my screen, or you can see my screen, Shepherds?
Yes, all is good.
Yeah, very good. So as you know, we started a while ago, more than a month ago, or even 2 months ago, we started with the project SignumSwap, which should be or will be our new DeFi portal here on Signum blockchain. We started with the spot trading, means the poor token trading for the portal, which is on chain and real peer-to-peer. What we see here now is our market, the landing page for the spot trading market. Means here you can see like on other central exchanges, you see what is trending right now, and it's taking up then all tokens which had volume in the last 24 hours. And these are here at the top are always the top volume coins. So the first and second, we have the biggest gainer and we have the biggest loss in the last 24 hours. In this case, we have even not any coin which was going into the red. So the smallest loss was to be equal. And then you can scroll down here and see all the tokens which had volume within the last 24 hours. So this list is dynamic and will be always updated, and it will show always all tokens. So it doesn't matter if this token is known or unknown, it always coming up here. So if you create a new token and you will have some volume on your trading place, it will pop up here. What you also can do here as a user on this landing page is you can search for tokens, like you can, for example, input test. Then it's coming up with all the tokens which have test in their name, and maybe you find them the token you want to search. And then, for example, I just take one as an example, this test asset. I'd say, okay, this one. So then this coming up, this is always important. You confirm that you like to trade this token for yourself, more or less, as it's a warning that everyone can create tokens with the same name. Like, for example, also the TRT token could be done several times in the same name. So only the ID, which is printed here, This is the one which is the real one and important. So if you have any use case later who is creating a token and giving you the ID, you should always check the ID, or should also enter the ID. I can also show this later here, that you get the correct token and not going to a token which may be not the right one. No? So I would now say understood, import, and then the screen opens for these token details here directly. Where you can see on this page, you have a chart. What's coming up next year? So it's a lightweight trading view chart right now, which is already quite nice. But our next target is to establish also the real trading view DLL. So it means that you can also really do a chart technique and TA here in this chart, like you need, or with candles, with lines, or what you need. Or I will also go for let's say competitor to TRT. It's a little bit more. You see here we have a lot of trades and a long chart history already. And here you could also later make some real TA activities within these plugin here. We will get from trading view. Then on the right side here you have the buy and sell section. So you can make a buy or a sell. You can enter price. You can also, like on other exchanges, you can enter how much amount. If I enter here for some 100, I could say 50% of my signals I want to use to buy at this price, and it's automatically calculating the number of tokens you can buy. Here I could now here enter the buy directly. Here you see on this section here you see all the trades. Also, if you hover over the date, you can see the time. You can also see the date, which is quite nice. Also, you can also see with several days or all on the same day. Here in the middle, you have the order book. So buying and selling the stock, and you see it's always aggregated on the price level, also known on every other normal exchange. And then you can also access quite fast, just clicking here. You could sell on this level. On the other side, you could buy. What you also see, that's the order book, and what you also see is in the upcoming orders. So that is all orders which are just now entered into the mempool of the Signum chain. You would see popping up here, not only yours, also from different users. So you can also see what should happen next with the next block when this is created and the orders are coming into the block. And here you see my orders. I entered here, for example, already a buy order at 0.30. So if you check on the order book, you see here, okay, I'm 0.30, have to go down. I'm somewhere here on these levels. These are my 100, and it's more I'm buying. If you check this order, also I have no. And then I see here my closed orders. For example, I bought and sold something in the past, and here you see from the dates. And if you click on the execution tab, you also see when these orders were executed and how much they were executed. If I close this, you see they were all 100% right now. And if I go now for my open orders, I can also cancel an order directly here out of the screen. So I can cancel, say yes, cancel it. Then this confirmation pops up. So we directly bundle it with the XT wallet, which is quite nice, because now I see, okay, SignumSwap network. So it's a mainnet, and I do a cancel buy order. It costs me this fee, and I can confirm it. And now it's going out.
Yeah, just like for the audience, the pop-up of the XT wasn't shown on the stream right now because it's because of the Windows arrangement and all this stuff, but it usually connects to the XT wallet and shows that. So
yeah, wait, then
just like heads up here.
Yeah, then thank you. Then I will maybe stop and go for the whole screen. No? Then I can see it, I think. Wait.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah,
try that.
Yes, you can share your
stock. I'm now sharing the whole screen. Now you should also see the small window from you yourself here, I think.
No, I'm not seeing nothing right now here. We're just seeing the SignumSwap, and it's like canceling there.
Yeah,
but there is no pop-up. There's no pop-up right now.
I will show this later. So let's say I will enter now a buy order. Let's say I go to the order book that everyone can see it. I will go and say, okay, I want to buy, but not on this level. I enter again 35, and I say, okay, 100, and now I make a buy order, and now you should see the pop-up.
Yes, there it is.
Exactly. So the XT wallet.
There it is.
Yeah, you see, it's a network, main work. You see the payload is 100 TRT to buy at this price. Usually it costs 35 Signa, and now I confirm it. And while I confirm, it's placing the order now on the mempool, and now we already saw it popped up here as 1. Now I see already mempool, 1 of my orders coming in. Huh? Could also be any other user entering an order right now. Huh? So this is quite nice. So you see already, you have a short view into the future, what's coming up next for everyone. Huh? Can see that. So and here you see my open orders, and here you see also my closed orders. And here you see, because everything is 100%, I'm just canceling this order, which had now filling. And then you see here on this icon, it's quite nice. It's also showing it as a pop-up, how much percentage is filled. And if it's fully, if the circle is full blue, then it's 100%. Or could also be that you cancel an order when it's 50% filled or so. It will stay like this and show you how much you bought in the past or buy it or sold. And then if you click on this slide here, you can also see when exactly this was executed, if you get several executions, not only one, like me here in this case. Okay, good. So then going ahead, I go to the top. Now I can also go on my user level and look at my portfolio. And what you see here is my portfolio right now. So this account has just 100 TRT and 10 FCT. Here you can see then your value. You would see also if I have anything sold here, I would have it as a reserved balance. So what I can do now is, for example, I go in trade and say I want to sell. Let's say I want to sell as a 5 and I want to sell 50%. Not buying, selling, sorry. And 5. We have also a number check here. So if you you have to enter this correctly, that you get this price with a digit. So please always check the price you enter in here. So I can say 50%. Now I'm selling. Now the pop-up is coming again. Okay, I'm selling, 50 TRT and confirm. Okay, and now it should also pop up here as upcoming again. You see, now it's coming here. And this is then, I'm connected against my local node, so quite fast. I would also, everyone gives a hint always to go with a local node, because you can also get on your local node your own cashback ID, which gives you 25% back of every network fee which you have to pay here. It's quite interesting also if you, for example, want to issue a token later, then you get also 25% back from this 150 fee of a token creation. So how to create this cashback ID? It's quite simple. We have on the Signum Art network, if you go down here to the bottom, we have this documentation link. If you click on the documentation link, you start here on the top and you can go to activate cashback. And here it's showing you how to set this up in the config. It's quite easy, only one entry. This node cashback ID needs to be your account ID, not your account name, more the ID. And this ID you can also get from the Explorer if you click on that, and then you see it. And then you can just enter it and restart your node, and then every next transaction you are doing should be against your local node, which you can set up like here on the local mainnet. That's the one, not your 1, 2, 3 or something else. You just go for local mainnet, and then you're connected, automatically connected against your own node, and every trade gives you also a little bit cash back. That's quite nice idea, and even you are quite much faster if you have your own node, because you're then gathering all the data from your local node and you don't need to go via a network or outside the network. Okay, so far so good. Then portfolio, back to the portfolio stuff. So later when the order is placed, you would also see here 50 in a reserve balance, as I was saying. So you would have like 150 reserved, and then you see a total value. Right now you have it, last price is paid, the last change on this price, indicating if you're plus or minus a token right now. You can also go here on the settings and change the currency. We have introduced a lot of currencies already. Thanks for the CoinGecko pricing API, which are using in the background. And you can also go here, for example, BR, because Oliver joined us, so you see then the stuff in the Brazil currency. What you also can do, you always jump to the trading screen, and you can also, and you see now it changed. So it's 50-50, so not 100 here. 50 is still free, 50 is already now in the now on the order sell side. And this, Oliver, is updating every 4 minutes, right? Like every block. Or what was, yeah, I think so, right?
Yes, it is. Every 8 minutes, I think the portfolio. Yeah, no, I'm not really sure at this moment. I think this one is 4 minutes. The initial price landing page is the markets there. They're updated every 8 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but that one is I think every 2 minutes here, if I'm not really wrong.
Yeah, because
I don't remember the configuration right now.
Yeah, it came in quite fast now. I see it already.
Yeah.
What you also can do is your transfer. I think we made also quite nice. I created, for example, an account here. The second one, let me go. Account one, I just copy that. So you see this account has now also the front end switch to the other account, which was when you change it in the XT wallet. Now I go back. And what I'm doing now is a transfer. And now you can enter here for sure your ID. You can also enter the ID. You can say, okay, I want to have marks of my TRT, and then I can send it out now already. So that's the first. You make a single token transaction, a transfer. You can also add another token. And that nice is it only shows you the token you have in your portfolio. So no need to search around. So I take this one. I say also max, for example, and saying, no, I want to be only 5.1. And then I could add another token, but that makes no sense because I have already all tokens I have in my portfolio are now reached. But I could go up to 4 tokens here, which is really nice. And now I could also send an extra some Signa if I want to. We don't need, it's not the fee, that's really the extra Signa I want to send. Let's say I want to send also, I have 500. I don't want to make like max here. I say, okay, I'd send 50, no? To listen to my friend here, and then I send it. Again, this coming up, you see in the screen what happens. So you will send 15 Signa, you will 50 TRT and 5.1 FZT. It's also a summary at the end here, and I confirm it. It's going out, and later I can swap over. Then here the balance will change, and on the other account I have now the balance, which is quite nice. Then under more options, you can also make the airdrop for every coin. That's the distribution to holder. If you open that, you can enter which amount I want to give out. For example, 200. Then I say, okay, I want to give 200. Continue. I can distribute. Oh, I might cancel. This is the amount to the holders. How many tokens everyone should have to be eligible for this airdrop. So if I say, okay, everyone needs 1,000 tokens, and only all tokens holder minimum with 1,000 tokens would be selected. And then I can say, okay, what I want to distribute. For example, I want to distribute 50 Signa. I want to distribute another token. For example, I can now select TRT here, for example, if I want to, and would say 10, and then I can distribute. Here I can get the summary. Then if I go for distribute, it shows me the stuff. It also calculates in the fee I have to pay. It's 2050. It's 1.8 Signa in fee, and the 51 is the one I want to distribute. And I could send out a distribution here quite easy. That's also a nice way, maybe also later, to distribute your own tokens if you like, or for use case with another token which has already a lot of stakeholders, for example. And
just to point out that, Frank, I mean, talking about the distribution, this is was one of the biggest changes in the last hard fork we had, just to heads up here. And this distribution is being at very high speed. So just like to point out that it is like at the moment it's like 5,000 transactions per second that we're doing there.
Yeah, exactly.
That's,
I mean, in theory, we don't have a token like this, but you could up to 1.5 million token holders could get your distribution within one block, and this transaction itself. And yeah, you have to think about this. In one block, I think no other chain can do that. And also, if you think about the size of these transactions, only 184 bytes. So it's nothing. The rest is done automatically on the chain. So we even have not using a lot of space here. So for distributing the stuff, this is coming with our smart layer 1 approach we have now integrated. That's also Node is doing a lot of stuff decentralized here to distribute it to the accounts when you select it. So it's really like a clear stream or like a ledger in the background where you can say, okay, please check every stake, every holder, and just send with my variables the stuff to the audience of these token holders. And while we are talking, you see now this changed also. I have now 0 variable TRT anymore because I sent them out. I sent also some FCT tokens. So going to the other one, to the other token now that you see that. And here they should be over here, they arrived now. So I swapped in between these two accounts, and now this one, the other account has now already the token. So it's also quite fast. So within this 4-minute block time we have. So and then going back to the other accounts. Okay, so good. Then also the other actions we have, and this is all the basic stuff. It's you have to think like the spot trading is our basic module, because on top of this we build now also another stuff which I'm just coming to a little bit later. So it's quite important that this is all working nicely, because then we have from the IT architecture we have everything in place, so that we can build on with more complex stuff which is coming soon. So airdrop and explained burn is clear. Here you can burn a token if you like. For example, TRT I could burn now. I can enter here an amount. Here I have no any. Let's go here, burn. I say, okay, I would burn 1, and I could continue. And then here I get the burn notification on, and you could burn it down and out. Okay. And yeah, you could also, what you can do if you get, for example, some tokens which you don't know or which look scammy and you don't like to see this in the portfolio, you could also make hide token here. So FCTET is now hidden, but you could always get back to that and may say, okay, show it again if you made an error. So it's not lost on your portfolio view. It's just customization you can use. And for sure, what you can do is you can always jump to the Explorer if you like. On here, you can also see the stuff on our official Explorer right now. And now you see the Explorer also a chart. It's also this lightweight chart from Trading DLL. And here, I even don't know if this is Trading DLL. And here you see also some more stuff you can check. For sure, we will have this also later with a more detailed page, but for the starting point, keep it like this. Second thing we have done so far is My Orders. My Orders is the overview of your active orders and your closed orders. You see here, okay, I have 2 active orders, and here I have my closed orders. You can also open here the slides and see what happened so far. You see also I closed an order with no execution. It's not 0% filled, so it was just an order on the market and then it was cancelled. So if I click here, I even can't click on because there's no execution. What you always can do now, that was feedback from the community, we did that, is that you can jump direct to the market. This we introduced the last day, so you can click here on TRT. You're jumping back to the market if you need to. And so you have also fast access to that. So that is so far the stuff we have on functionalities in the spot market. Think here, this is the standard way you can light and wait, so you can change your mode, and you can also change languages. Right now we support all these languages here. We are always happy that if somebody sees a translation which makes no sense as a native speaker, we have an open translation GitHub for that, where you can make changes if you like, and just make a pull request for that. Yeah, and all the currencies, also Canadian dollars, and you see it in Canadian dollars. If you go on my portfolio, back to my portfolio, I would have now here's a top in Canadian dollars right now. Yeah. So then also, why maybe the question is coming up, we have here at the top the TRT token. We are trying, and we also announced that to do, TRT token was introduced with BTDEX, which is our other desktop tool where you can mine and trade also. Also cross-chain already. We will also introduce a cross-chain later also here on this DeFi portal, but slightly in a different way and with a newer setup of smart contracts. But we have this as the last step out our DeFi portal. But the TRT token will be something like our utility token here for the DeFi portal. We will introduce when we have the liquidity pools, for example. We will have like a platform fee, which will be then going distributed to the TRT token holders, which is quite nice. Also, this is a token which all the early supporters still have in their portfolio, I think, and could be a good one. So now the next step for the portal, to say that we have, when I click here on alias, for example, these nice pictures coming up. So only one action, for example. What's saying? So we are working in phases right now. So the smart token spot trading is live, and for sure we check always the feedback and also check ourselves if everything is working fine. So we bug fixing stuff if we see something. Now we are on the alias market right now. I think we are through the mockup phase already and starting now doing the pages. Alias market is quite important. We went here as a second phase because it's a huge feature on the Signum chain with its aliases, but we had never the chance to really show this to the audience, also to other users which are coming from outside. We just highlighted this on our main page, but we had no chance really in our wallets to trade or to interact with alias in a good way. And now it's coming here also as a nice front end where you can see which alias are on sale on the chain and which alias you can create still, and also which alias you can also go for a sale. And we will also use these aliases more extensive with the new SIP44, which was brought in from Oliver. So we have now a standard how you can fill up these aliases in a JSON format to make it readable for other applications, or make an for all apps maybe which gets developed in the next time, they can read these aliases and use this data in a given way. But Oliver will, I think, also talk about it a little later. Yeah. Then staking. Staking is the next one. We have, I mean, it's more proof of stake, where staking is really the main thing, but we will do it more similar because we will also have a contract now, and I'm also heavily developing this contract right now. You can see it here on Signum Smart GS, and here on the develop stream on the D apps. When you click here, you see the staking dynamic contract. That's the current. I just updated it maybe, I don't know, 1 hour ago. I updated last time. I'm checking heavily right now on the testnet with that. The idea here is that you can create a pool. Let's say for Signum is more a pool, not real staking, but it's a pool where you can say you can get a Signum distribution by any income, or maybe also the staking owner is putting the creator of the contract is putting in Signum, and also another token. You can select any token which get automated distributed with the distribution to holder function within the smart contract. And you can also define an interval in which these get paid, like a yield. And you can also define what is the minimum amount per token you could get, or you can say which maximum amount should be paid out. So it's a lot of functionalities and setup functions inside here. You can also say that the token has only, this contract has only a given runtime. So like it's paying in an interval of 10 blocks, and it's running maximum 100 blocks. So it's something to pay a yield for somebody if you give in a defined token. So you always have to stake a token here. That's a staking, and then you will get something on that. It will also be something we had in our phase 4 document for the Signum art, where the idea is that artists can create a token like here on the market, and then they can, for example, the royalties, they can transfer to this new staking contract, and then everyone who is putting in the token from the artist can get indirectly the revenue of every art sold on Signum art, for example. So that's also an idea that you can also support an artist by buying his token, and if the artist is making better advertising or is making good progress in his arts, and the selling is going up, then indirectly you can also profit by that, or by getting then the royalties via these staking contract. Yeah, then the third phase or the fourth phase is liquidity pools. We're already here on the smart contract side, working together with Joe. So we are really more or less finished with the normal liquidity pool functionality. What we're doing right now is that you also can make factors. So the idea from us is that you can go up with 4 tokens, but we start only with 2 tokens because it's the most known in the DeFi portal world right now. But you can already set an factor for each of these tokens. So not only a 50-50, you can also say 80-20, 90-10, 100, 150, what you want. And then these factors are going into the calculation and that you can then make more like selling or buying pools, for example, if you like, for use case you need that. Yeah, and cross chain is in the last one we will do, because here the idea is also TRT is used there, and you will get TRT when you make a cross chain trade as a maker. As a taker, you just pay a small fee, and we will also make here a new smart contract framework to have a DAO in place, that also everyone can also be in there as a mediator. At the moment, it's a quite small group of mediators which are working in the background, but we will like to open that everyone who has like 1 million TRT can start a mediator, and we'll also get then there to vote for disputes if you have one, and if the voting was well, then and everyone is going right, then the mediator get also a little bit paid for that, so it will be an open one and more decentralized. Also here we are work with the DAO contract, and we are already, I think this is on Joe's right now, quite far already. Yeah. So good to know is alias market next, and the alias market, if this is implemented, we will also use the aliases for other stuff. The idea is also here that we will have, right now we have generic tokens, icons, which are quite nice. Here you see TRT has already one icon, which is at the moment hard-coded, but we don't want hard-coded, it should really be decentralized. And we will use the aliases that you can map as a creator of a token, is that you can map real icons to your tokens. And you can also make a separate description, for example, all our own social links, also homepage links. So we have like the alias is always changeable, so you can change the stuff, but you should use then our new SIP44 standard for that. And also you will have to pay a fee for that. So you will have on this alias market, you will have to buy it. But then the good thing is that all these income will also be automatically contributed to TRT holders. So it's another stream we want to have here in a decentralized way, so that everyone who is engaging with the portal, helping the portal, and gets also TRT with that, could also get some income from the future volume we may have here on the portal. As you see right now, the volume is not huge, I have to say that, but it's okay, because we know we had never had a real presentation of our token markets, and we are quite happy that we have it now, and we hope for that it's going in the future, but much better in a decentralized way. You can trade here directly with your XT wallet and your on-chain. Okay, and then the last thing I wanted to show, and then I may hand over to Oliver or somebody else. Our questions came up. I was not looking at this. You can see also here my issued smart tokens. Liquidity smart tokens, clear. This is for the liquidity pools. Audio later, we just kept it here. But you can also easily create your new smart token right now. It's like a click, one click. You enter a ticker up to 10 names, like my token. You can say 21. And then you make here a description, something you can say how many decimals you want to have for your token. And then you can also select if it should be mintable or not. That means mintable means you can always mint new tokens. If now your initial supply is set what you have. You can make yes and initial supply from 1,000, and then you can create a smart token for 150 Signa, and you get your cash back like 37.5 Signa back if you make your own cashback ID, and then make a create smart token, and then this is coming up, and you would create your own token with 1,000 at the beginning, and I could confirm and would create this token directly. That's not doing it now on the mainnet. Yeah, that's all the functionality. Many thanks to the developers in the background who did that. Also, iPro was doing a lot on the front end side. Oliver was doing in the back end. So was quite nice work so far. We learned a lot in the Signum art stuff, and we could leverage this now into the SignumSwap DeFi portal for Signum. And we really hope that you will also like it in the future. And what we can say, it's completely decentralized. It's quite important also nowadays to say that we don't have any scripts, nothing in the background. The XT Vault is running locally on your PC. You are connecting with your node. It's really your node which is showing the data here. The only thing what you're doing is you're downloading from Brussels the front end to see the stuff in a good way, and the rest is then locally executed on your side. There is no centralized script in the background or something else which could block you or hold you or make any shitty stuff like on you heard on the other central exchanges. This is not here. So we are quite happy with that. We are waiting then for your feedback. So to improve the stuff on the way, we also will do a documentation soon. Right now, I think if you click here on documentation, it's a nice picture. We are so happy at working at the moment with all the phrases. We have no time to document, but I think this is everyone who is in the token business a little bit already knows how to work with that. And we also did not make any super new weird stuff which nobody understands. We also took the standard from other exchanges, so everyone should be used to work with that. Favorites also something you can set favorites here, so you can always see the market, and the favorites always came up. Even if you have a token here which has no volume in the last 24 hours, it would pop up here and be shown. So you can always have your list of favorites tokens and look at this and also make it fast access to the trading market. So, and then my last thing, what can I do here? My orders, I have these orders. Yeah. Yeah, and then I can here again, for example, I cancel this. I don't want to sell. Yes, sell. Now I see you see the cancel, what I was showing at the beginning. Just here you see cancel, sell, order, confirm. And then it's nice, and it's canceling is already in progress and showing you that you cancel the stuff. So I don't know if we have any questions. Otherwise,
I have a question.
Yeah.
What fees does SignumSwap takes?
so what?
What fees does SignumSwap takes?
Yeah, okay. So there are no, I mean, about fees, talking about fees. If you make now the trading here on the spot market, there is no fee besides the network fee, to be fair. So the normal network fee is paid. So when I enter this stuff and say I buy something, and I say, okay, I want to buy 100 here, and I buy, you see, it's plus transaction fees, and these transaction fees is only the one which is paid on creating the transaction on the blockchain, the 0.01 Signum. And here from that one you can also get 25% back, as I was explaining with the cashback. So I really force everyone to go for a local node with an own cashback ID, so you get also something back. So then your payment is also 0.0075, or it's near nothing, all you have to pay. So there's no fee besides the network fee. Also the token creation or the transfer is only 0.01 for a single transfer, and 0.02 for multi-transfer of tokens, and the Signum token creation is 150 Signum, but it's all network fees which goes then to the miners of the validators of the block, minus your cash back you could get.
And how much it is cost to be listed at SignumSwap?
Yeah, we have no, there's no cost for listing at all. Let's say like this: if you create a token, as I explained at the beginning, the token will show up here as soon as the token has volume. We are not showing in this list any tokens without any volumes, and this list is always for 24 hours. So if the last 24 hours you have minimum, let's say your minimum quantity traded, then your token would pop up here in this list and would be shown to the audience who is opening the main landing page for Signum spot trading. Later, as I explained, if you want to have an own icon besides this generic one, which already nice, I think, but if you say I have an own icon, I have a brand, I want to do that, then you can buy this alias on the alias market, which is coming, and this will be then shown for your token also. This is maybe like an indirect cost, but it's the listing itself is free, and you can go for it, and we support that, that everyone can do that. You just have to trust the token creator as normal, or you have to see what he's doing on the homepage, what is the business or use case behind why you're buying this token. You have to do your own research for that, and then you can just buy here or sell.
So SignumSwap do not control who is listed and what is behind this token.
No, I think the minimum what we will do, we discussed it also internally, and I'm quite here that we will not do any restriction on that. Maybe we will, what is the discussion is Signum and Signa as a name we will block here. So this is not shown because Signum is our chain and Signa is our native coin. So we had this already in the past on our Explorer where we're saying potential phishing. And I think these two names maybe are getting blocked, but the rest is free. And you can also, also there's no limitation for any token creator and starting his business. The idea is, I mean, if you go here, start your smart token portfolio, create, trade, and distribute your IDs worldwide. We're thinking here positive and saying if everyone wants to start on the Signum chain his own business or with other people a business, he is able to start with that, huh? And we just show it.
Yeah, it's very cool. So you can start mining by using your free space, and you can start your some kind of business by spending few cents by creating your token and doing free listing.
Yeah, exactly.
You no need nothing.
Yeah, I think the all the stuff is more or less for free, and I think also we are here quite yeah, we have really nearly no network fees for anyone to create this business. What's always maybe is interesting is the legal part, but this is outside of the blockchain. No? Representing the platform, you can create a token, and if you made your homework with the legal part and you have the correct data and on the homepage and everything, then I think it's a really easy going to make these tokens and trade them and transfer them and distribute them to your audience, user, how we name it. Huh?
Okay, we have question from Adam Arrival. Do TRT holders profit from trades on SignumSwap?
Yeah, we have. They will, as I explained, the spot trading is the basic function on Signum. So there we don't want it to do anything extra fees for as I described for spot trading. So the spot trading is running on its own as normal on the chain. But as soon we have contracts involved, like the staking contract and the liquidity pool token, liquidity pool contract, you will get income for your TRT token there. So what we started in the past a little bit with the TRT creation and then sending for cross chain, we will have this also for liquidity pool and for staking contracts. Also aliases, as I was explaining, when we're selling these aliases so that people can place their own token, this money will also, or the Signa will also go over to the TRT token holders. There is nothing else between us. So that's the idea that we support, that the long-term supporter also get involved and get continued with our development here. Starting point was BTDEX, and now we're going to SignumSwap. We saw this because we also saw that BTDEX is perfect for mining and also for the cross-chain right now as a desktop version. But a lot of people have a barrier to install stuff, or even if they see some weird messages while they're installing. And here you don't need to install anything anymore. You just have your XT wallet plugin, you have your browser, and you can go for it. Huh? So it's much less barrier for everyone to get connected.
Okay. Finn Wallace asks, will clearly inappropriate token names will be removed or blocked from display on SignumSwap?
Yeah, as we're saying, we start with as minimum viable product right now. So it means also, as I was saying, we start with blocking, for example, Signum and Signa as a name, because it makes no sense that you make a Signum token or a Signa token, because this is somehow our native nature here on the blockchain. But the rest not, and let's see how it goes. So I mean, if a token is created with a weird name, nobody wants to see, and as long as there is no volume, just transfers or so, it's even not shown here on the landing page. Maybe maybe we can also install a voting for that, or so something like we're going for the DAO. So right now we are not thinking about that, and let's see how it goes. So if we have a lot of tokens with shitty names and really not nice to see, then we have to make a wider list of that with like keywords which are blocked directly.
Yeah, I just now remember it. We had some N words tokens and F word, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but as long on the Explorer, they already then disabled in naming, or just like it's like saying phishing tokens or scammy tokens. So This is done there on the Explorer already because there we show everything, but here we are no volume driven. No? So as long as these tokens have no volume, they will never appear here on the list. And I don't know if otherwise the scammer or the guy who's doing this bad token has to minimum to invest a little bit in network fees to make volume, no? If he likes to see here on coming up. Maybe. Yeah, let's see. I mean, at the end, yeah, the world is not always good, huh? So maybe we have to really like a keyword blocking list, something like this. But then we will still show the token, but saying with the alert icon now. Looks bad. Don't click. Yeah. Yeah.
And last question from Paul Foco. There is option to follow another trader to see what they are buying or selling.
Yeah, also if you want to go like this, so first of all, we are starting with we have seen minimum viable product here in place. So we have the chart, you have the stuff, you have the order book. For sure, my idea would be that we like to have also more detailed page over the token where you can see a lot of more stuff, also holders, etc. I mean, we have here this, I didn't show you, we have this small icon here where you can see the basic data of the token. You see also how many holders we have here. And right now, for this source, if you want to dig into the data and see who did what and who was trading what, you can go here and you can here go on the token trades and transfers, and you can see who was trading with whom, and can check this. I mean, you can also take the data from your node, and you can download it, and you can then investigate who's doing what. But you have also the overview here of the holders. You can go through, make all the holders, and then you can just scroll through the list and check then the holder. Maybe, for example, if you go for this one, I just click it on. No link with this guy also, but just clicking here, then you can see what he did in the past. So you can also make your analyze here on the Explorer right now. Maybe later, or maybe we'll have a more explicit detail page, which is you can access over the top here and see much more data. But this is at the moment our MVP, and the rest is coming later. And you can also, what's nice, you can also share the token directly here if you like. You can always make a tweet, and it's coming up like this. I'm on things. I don't have my Twitter account next to the phone right now. But you can go here for clicking, and you can go or copy link, and you can make your advertising then with that. Also adjust in the links if you like. Any other questions?
I have one question from Discord, but maybe we can give some word to Oliver.
Yes, for sure.
No, it's okay. No, answer the question first. First the question. So
question is not related to SignumSwap, it's related to other things. So maybe let's finish with this.
Yeah, but I can take over a little bit because there's something like that matches pretty well. So Frank showed that there's information available about the token. Due my very current activities, there's something that's coming up where do we need to provide additional information. In my business case I'm working on, we need to provide additional information about the token we are we intend to use or to create. And that is where this SIP44 or better say SRC44 comes in. And this is what I wanted to show a little bit, because people are saying like, well, alias is not that important at this moment. And I would say like, yes and no. And because we plan to use the alias thing in the very near future, though we came up with some ideas about standardization of certain things on a higher level, which is not on the protocol. And this is where this SRC stuff comes in. And I wanted to explain a little bit how that works and why we think this is strategically a good match to do so, because it does not take so much resources from us right now. It's a very quick feature to implement, let's say that. And I want to go over then, if I hijack the screen, Frank, so that I can share from my side. Yeah. So that's here going over. And to explain a little bit the things and why this came up and all this stuff. Let me see. It's showing. I just need. Yes, I think it's visible. My screen right now.
Yes. Not yet, not.
Yeah, because
Yes, yes.
yes. Now it's okay. Yeah, because I see that just the YouTube screen delay. Okay, so when we started with the Signum Art platform here, we have something like these profiles here inside. So people can, in their profiles, it's like creating a profile here, and next, sorry. So you can add your username, bio, and all the stuff, and all this away. And we use that as the mother of the standard we are going to apply, because they figured out that it's nice, especially for the profile image, profile banner, and all this stuff. So that was the idea, that we can like structure certain things and make it widely applicable for the entire ecosystem. For example, if we could, for example, later in our wallet here, show a custom profile image. So we have now these hash icons here, and we were thinking of how we can make it more generic. And that was the idea when it came up. And this led to this SRC. So we just call this SRC. This is like derived from the idea of the ERC. So people from the Ethereum world knows that there is ERC20, ERC20. These are kind of standards which are not usually part of the protocol itself, which are like on top of that. And if you follow them, you can like interact with certain applications of the ecosystem. So just giving a spoiler, I know that Delitarium, for example, Delitarium is the creator of the TMG token, the mining game, and all this stuff, and the creator of the Smart C compiler for the smart contracts. So he already is working on another project, and he's following these new standards. So what's this new standard about? We have certain entities in our blockchain which can carry a description up to 1,000 bytes. So these are smart contracts, these are tokens, these are aliases. I will talk about this just in a moment, and even the account. So we have two parts of these entities which are mutable. So this is the account description. You can change this all over the time. Then there are the aliases, which are kind of entities which have mutable content. So just to think of this, we have mutable content on chain. This gives us some interesting use case to work on. While, for example, the description of smart contracts, once they're deployed, they're immutable. You cannot change them. And the same for token description. And so we thought a little bit about that, and that's like, what that would be cool if we can like standardize the content of this description of smart contracts and all this stuff, and even reference, for example, to an alias, and saying like, hey, that alias is carrying mutable but additional meta information about something, like the smart contract, like the token, all of this stuff. This is what, when we started to work on that and made a structure, and it's not the most economic structure to use, so like JSON, but it's even the most compatible all over the place. And this is what we have done. So the idea is like we defined a specification and saying like, if someone follows that specification, he is able to read accounts, profile data, or tokens, metadata information, which are stored probably partially on chain or not. And then you have several fields that are going in. You can use like this. The S is for version, if a type. These are all optional, but they can be considered by the applications. So my wallet. I say my wallet because I'm the developer of the XT wallet, so it's kind of a baby. But the XT wallet will support, to a certain extent, this standard. So it will be compliant on that, so that we can, for example, show AV like avatar images. Of course, we cannot store images on blockchain. I mean, we could do so, but it would be pretty complex to do so. It's good to use, for example, IPFS for that. We're still in the Web3 world, in the distributed network world. And this is, for example, like the spec says, like, if you want to have an avatar, you can like use this IPFS hash. I won't go into detail that, but it's an identifier for a document which points, for example, to an image. You can do the same with the background, which we use inside the Signum art stuff. You can even add optionally some homepage. This is a central. I won't talk about this at this moment. Futurely we want to use this a little bit more. You can reference to an alias. And you can make it even extension, like, what can I extend with more or with social media stuff. So, and there are certain fields which are described more detailed here. There's a little bit cut of that, sorry, yeah. And so on. So we've specified which fields are valid, and we even let it open that people can, for their own applications, use the same structure, the same parser. There's kind of a reference implementation for developers which can use them, and having like what we call an inline extension. So I can, for example, add extensions which are only known by my own application or whatever. For example, I could imagine to have to point towards the source code of my smart contract and all this stuff. So there's there's the structure which is very flexible that can be used all over the place, and this is almost optional, which fields almost all fields are optional, just like the version number is mandatory. And then you have a payload size limit. This is because of we can only have maximum 1,000 bytes, and so there are more descriptions on all this stuff. That's the idea. And when we use the alias thing, we can do this. What I'm doing, I mean, probably I said this already, that I have a smart contract, and that smart contract I will just like point to an alias. I buy this alias together, and in my alias I can provide additional information about the smart contract. They are both linked about my creator account, and then I can like provide more information, which can be shown later, for example, in the SignumSwap token stuff or whatever is coming up. So that's the principal idea of that. And if we all follow these standards in the future, and people like going in, and then the Phoenix wallet will follow that, and further and future wallets will also consider parts of that, then we can really make it a more colorful ecosystem with additional data and metadata, which are most parts of them like on-chain and partially on IPFS if we are talking about images. And that's the entire idea. So we established that as standard. That's almost everything I wanted to say about that, just to have an idea. And the alias is like the big thing. We can have mutable data on the chain, and this mutable data is your own container envelope where you can really put things inside. And we thought using this standard in combination with the alias is the right fit at this moment to make this relatively quick realizable feature, so then we can use or make use of this in the future. So by my own business case, we're using that further in liquidity pools. Probably we'll have a description field for that and all the stuff around. So the Signum art profile will be adjusted slightly to that compliant. It's almost compliant right now. I just need to add one field. So that's the idea. So with low effort, having huge benefits, that's what we're seeing here. And that's why we injected the alias system inside between the staking and liquidity pools, because we thought this would be quick, really executable, realizable, and a very good fit at this moment of time. And that's almost everything I wanted to say.
Can you all of us quickly say what is alias?
Yeah, stop sharing here. Alias is, I said, the alias is nothing more like, think of this like a small container, which you as a user like me, I can buy an alias. So and this alias allows me up to 100 alphanumeric characters. So it can be like a random number or something like that. I can use that, and I could put mutable content in this alias. I can update that content, which stays all on chain. So all the cryptographic features and all the transaction stuff and all the blockchain features and all the security and all the transparency we have with this alias. And this alias allows me like to change things there inside. We have one use case which is being used in the past, but we just like not forgot about this, but it's like we're not using this extensively, is like resolving accounts by human readable names. So I have, for example, an alias, it's called Ohager, and I can link this Ohager to my address. I have there like 9KNAL, whatever. This is my address, one of my addresses. So, and that would be it works already nowadays inside our wallets, that you can like hit their Ohager. I can even show it. And then it resolves to that account number. And then I can use human-friendly name as a recipient name. This is a very simple use case. It's like a DNS, like IP or like a domain name resolving to an IP. So this is a very simple use case, but we can go even further with that. So we can add more structured data inside there. And if we accept this, if we follow that standard, what we just proposed and was widely accepted by the community, so we have more features on that. We can even change profile images of my avatar. Can do a lot of things on that. This is pretty nice to do. So they're just like, I can't even grasp all the possibilities we have there, but it's like mutable metadata for something which I wanted to refer to. And I know that I will use it in a business case where we're using that, where we need to really attach documentation to tokens we are creating and to explain it to the token users, let's say, what's going on in there. Like I can point to external resources, documentation, and all this stuff and say like, okay, that token is pointing towards that white paper, and that white paper is describing the business case and all this stuff. And at least we can change this, because it can change that my content is like being put. Nowadays I have it on Google Drive, tomorrow I have it on S3, or I post it anywhere, I don't know. And I need to change that. If I can't change that, then I have a problem with all this immutability. Sometimes immutability on blockchain is not that favorable, and the alias is the one that gives us the flexibility to not being immutable and being prisoned by that immunity. Yeah, that's the idea. I'm not sure if I was able to explain correctly, but it's like on-chain mutable data.
Okay.
Yeah, and one last sentence to that also. Right now, if you create a smart contract and the description, everything is not changeable anymore. And if you now do the description with the new standard ZIP44 and you link to another alias, then you can have their changeable data in the background, and you can make updates if needed in your use case or business case for the smart contract all the time. I mean, the code is not changeable. Your execution code is like set in stone, but your description, which was before also set in stone, is now has like a backdoor where you can make dynamic data or dynamic description, and you can read this in your application and show it to your audience or in your app or in your browser where you need that stuff. And that's the flexibility and the power then of this new standard, that you then quite free to generate data even on a smart contract where you normally deploy to the chain, and then you never can change anything anymore. And here you can do it indirectly by pointing to an alias which you own, and then these alias you can also change all the time, and maybe you can also sell this alias. Maybe there are business cases coming up with that. Just saying, I'm not in there, but you have then all these pointers together, and you can make something with that.
Yeah, just like for the reference, just like to complement that, this is more technical. So we have our API reference or documentation here, so I haven't done this. I will do this next week. I just created a new package on the Signum.js, and this one is the standards package. So in one of the standards patches, the first one which is being implemented, there's another one. It's a little bit older one about deep linking and QR code generation. I won't talk about this right now, but we can do this in another one. And this will be pulled towards that. And it's like you can like have a documentation how you can set up your profile data. I call this profile data, but it's more than just profile data. But think of this like. And here is like the reference implementation, how this works. And you can even like using like set account profile, making all this stuff. I mean, that's very technical. I don't want to go into the details, but for developers, it should be as much as comfortable as possible, that the people can just like use that instantly and getting and resolving, for example, aliases to accounts and all this stuff. This is already baked into this standard or this reference implementation, which I just released this week. So yeah, and we will talk about this probably. Do we see this in the future every more time popping this up? I know that Pirate Radio, for example, is working on the Explorer, and he will bring this also. So then we get it. Like what I said, our ecosystem will be a little bit more colorful once we have, for example, the profile images over there. And I know that Deleterium is using this already in his new thing that he's doing. This will be pretty cool. So it's not even. finished. It's like even hot coming out of the oven and just being used by other people, and that's good sign. That seems that this was something useful that we're doing. Yeah.
Pirate Radio asks, it looks like an old account that has already how to say this word. Every dictionary word making alias less usable. Is there anything we can do about that?
Sorry, what's the question? I haven't understood.
How to say this word? Purchased.
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 Yeah.
Purchased. Yes.
Okay,
So,
there's already an account who purchased a lot of aliases, right?
All dictionary words. It's Pirate Radio wrote me that old account purchased all dictionary words.
Yes, we have some here.
We cannot do anything because it's on a blockchain, you know. No, I mean this is like a domain farmer. He's trying to get all the aliases, and then they're just like trying to sell this later. I think that's the idea. It seems like that. I don't know.
Yeah. But you have to think about it's a long-term investor because it was long time ago he did it. You can see it in the database if you have your own one, and there was no UI front end or something for that. So now it's time for him to make his investment. Maybe. But it's a long time. I don't even know. I hope he's still active. I hope.
Yeah, but it's that. I mean, okay, aliases like the dictionary words, but we have a 100 character alphanumeric namespace, saying like that, and I can pretty much imagine that things being auto-generated in the future, like using aliases which are not like human-friendly readable, but they have their linkage to other entities. Could be something useful also. So the namespace is pretty high, and you cannot occupy. Nobody will be able to occupy all that because I need to make some calculations, but I don't know if we even have so many Signa available to buy all the possible aliases. To be honest, yeah.
That's also that. Maybe we pushed. That's also a reason why we also pushed a little bit the alias creation cost. So it's a little bit more. Don't have to check the documentation. It's like 60 times the minimum fee or something like this. So it's a little bit more like nearly in Signa to create an alias nowadays. To check this now.
One alias is 0.2 Signa.
Yeah, exactly. 0.2. Exactly. So even cheap right now, but it costs a little bit more so that really everyone who has an interest in should buy it and can create it, but not that somebody like only just taking it away. That's always also the idea, but yeah.
I see a question here. Pirate Radio is asking token holders. So are token holders not able to do a custom log on SignumSwap? They are.
They are. That's what we described. You will.
If somebody already bought the token name as an alias, well, of course.
No, it's different. The token, it's working differently because exactly that we wanted to avoid. So you have to buy from a given account token aliases so that you can then present this to your token. It's a different way around. So here the foundation is selling the stuff for you to you. You can buy it, and then we will distribute these income to the TRT holders. So there's nothing going in and out between, and it's not that you have to have a name for your token as an alias name. The connection will be, as Oliver described, will be different, via a different logic. And so nobody can hunt you and block you when you have your token here. The alias name is completely different. You will even not have a contact to your own token.
Yeah. Nivok is asking something very important, and of course that's not possible what he's asking. If I owned the Pirate Radio alias, could I turn his profile picture into something nasty? No. I mean, you could do this, yes, but it won't appear in the name of Pirate Radio, because if you think, for example, for the account, if you look for the account that's logged in, for example, into Signum Art, for example, and there's the profile image. We use another structure there, so it's the account description itself. So there's no way that this alias is being used for that case. And the other one, if we use it, for example, for tokens, we always check before it's being shown somewhere if the linkage on the creator of the token, the issuer of the token, and the alias is the same owner of that stuff, and that's the linkage. The linkage is always the account of the issuer, creator, owner, whatever. There's no possibility that you can make shit with that.
Now, can you, Oliver, explain about our database situation, about MariaDB and Hashdo, about Bittrex and...
Okay, yeah. Oh, so what happened is that due to this is the assumption from our side, due to the sheer size, which is not really big, but due to the size of the blockchain on mainnet right now, we have more than 1 million blocks, and it's if I don't have the exact value in my head right now. I think we have a 6 GB database right now. And in the past, we used H2, which is like a file-based database, which has the comfort of not necessary that you don't need to install MariaDB, SQL, or IDBMS, and all this stuff. So the problem is that for some reasons, the H2 is getting more and more unstable. I think this because of memory issues and file size stuff, and probably there are conflicts with the I/O operations when it comes to writing that. So what happened really is like it happened this year also to my node, which run on H2. It started to get unstable, and I had failures once a week or twice a week. And that happened also right now to Bittrex. And so I wasn't aware of that. So I talked to their dev team, and they said, oh, we have this error here. And they said, wow, that looks like you're using H2. And you can now like restart the H2 database and look if it persists this error. But I told them this is no issue with the chain itself, because they were asking if we have some issues with the chain. And I said, we don't have issues. And I recommended to migrate over to MariaDB, because since I did that on my node, I never had any instability issues on that level anymore. So that's the problem. We digged even into the H2 GitHub repository. It's open source and all this stuff, and trying to figure out what's going on. And there are other people are saying that huge databases have issues with the current version of the H2, which we are using. So a few months ago, I remember that we just tried to upgrade to a newer version, which is said that this should be more stable. But there was no luck, because there were kind of other issues that came up. And so we decided not to dig deeper, because it seems that the newer version of H2 is not production ready yet. Yeah, so exactly. The only way is like, Frank, yeah?
Yeah, yes, exactly. The H2, yeah. 2 dot something, we tried to do it in the past, but too many problems. I think the driver is not stable at all, and the older version is unstable. So even with higher volume, as you described, Oliver. So right now we are waiting for version. Maybe let's go another half a year into, and then we see if it's getting better there, and then maybe migrate to H2 2.x.
So going further on the Bittrex stuff. So I was accompanying this and said, guys, sorry to hear that issue. I recommend by my own experience to migrate to MariaDB, and they did this week. I had a conversation with one of these responsible developers there, and he said that he had all done. It's like they're working on a Docker environment and all this stuff, and they just he just made the tests, and now he put it in the deploy pipeline of their build or deploying process. This is something that is like totally up to Bittrex when this coming up. I don't know how the internal processes of deployment from their side works. I can imagine, because they have hundreds of coins there on the platform, they really need to prioritize this stuff. And well, the communication is there. They're responding normally. I make my follow up on those stuff. It just is the last step that has to be done. It needs to be deployed on production. That's the one. I cannot say you right now when this will happen. It's a little bit unfortunate, but yeah, well, that's the way it is. But they're coming up. So what my expectation is that they're really coming up with that in, I don't know, probably next week. I will be on that and making follow up and asking how's the situation. That's the way it is. Yeah. Okay. But I mean, at this point, I mean, I just have to say that even it seems like weird that they have like we had this one situation once this year already with the our hard fork, that it took a long time before they were able to just like reactivate the wallet for withdrawal and deposits. And this was because they had internal infrastructure changes. So that was, they said to us, and that took a very long time. I think it was more than 1 month or 6 weeks or something like that. And now it's about, I think, 2 weeks since we have this problem, probably. My expectation is that they will come up soon because they already confirmed that the development and the migration was done. So that's what I'm seeing here. Yeah, that's it. And they're very supportive. They're just like with German, because of the time zones and all this, they're responding a little bit delayed, sometimes a little bit asynchronous. But they're always responding. They're not really ignoring. I mean, sometimes I need just like to follow up a little bit more and ping some more people, but that's the way it works. Yeah. And I just like thank for the dev team that they're doing that, because I think they have a lot of things to do. And this year was pretty stressful for them because of all the Catholic stuff and all this stuff. Yeah, but that's the way it is. Like, yeah, and we just have to wait.
And last question from Poker related to databases: is there a way the Signum node could download a known good database backup so it doesn't take so long to catch up to current block?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something we need to figure. We need to establish something good. I know that there are several dumps that are flying around. Some on that part and there over there, but you cannot really rely on that dumps that somebody's providing. So there we need to think a little bit how we can do this better. I don't know, like a hashing or whatever. I don't know. Frank, I don't know. Have you some ideas on that?
Yeah, what I heard so far, I was never doing myself in backup, but I even forget who told me. But I think with MariaDB, if you make an export of the DB and then you try to import, it takes longer than just starting from scratch and loading the blockchain. No? And that's something for me. It's like, okay, then just restart and wait these 7 hours and you have it. Huh? I mean,
but there's something. Wait, I need to. I can't remember that. I'm not at DBA in the end. But there are two ways to. Yeah, there are two ways to export a database. You can do this on a binary level, and you can do this on a script level. Yeah, I can imagine that the script level takes a lot of time. And the binary should be a little bit faster. We should invest some time on that stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, maybe the community can also look into that and show a solution, no? And it would be nice if somebody who is in the DBA area active and showing and helping us to get this improved, no? Because for sure it's helping them for the users, no? If they can just start. On the other hand, on the other hand, 7 hours to wait to get the blockchain from zero to the current block. For me personally, it's okay to just restart over. I did it last time on my laptop again. I just let it run overnight, the next day it's finished. So, and I mean, even you can also know then that this sync is always correct, because you load it from.
Yeah, that's the guarantee. Yeah, that's the good thing.
And you're not loading it from somebody, maybe a sketchy source where you then end up in a fork or so. I don't know.
Yeah,
but everyone needs to know. But if somebody's out there, so just a call and likes to help on this, in this case, could be nice. Because it's not directly related to blockchain, it's more like how to set up and to drive and maintain database backups.
Yeah, there could be something like the snapshot mechanism, and then we have certain snapshots with, like, I don't know, with some hashing that shows that this one is the correct one. I don't know. It needs to be rethinked a little, because the biggest problem is that you have to you need to be sure that this is a correct and integral database, that this one is not being like compromised by something. I'm not sure if this is even possible, to be honest, but well, as you said, you download that and you end up in a fork. And that's really no gainer.
Okay, and we have last question from Hoegini from Discord. He asked, for me, it would be really interesting to learn more about the SNA. It is a Signum association, and their relationship to the developers and how development is organized and founded.
Yeah, I take this question now. So yeah, the SNA is really supporting the development by helping indirectly paying services and tools that the development can start and ongo. The SNA is also paying for the most of the feature nodes right now we have running on the Explorer. So the environment is, like say, kept in the green with the SNA so that we really can concentrate then on the development from the dev side. Also, if you see Signum Art and SignumSwap right now, so we have their paid services in the background like Versal. We are using all these are paid from the SNA right now, and also the servers which are used for the nodes. So there the developer has not to tackle with all, and there's no stuff they have to pay with that. That's the idea.
Okay, guys, thank you. I think let's finish.
Yeah.
No more questions.
If we have no more questions yet, otherwise we make another one later when we. I would guess we would make another one when we have another phase finished. We should do for sure another presentation about that.
Okay.
Thank you.